Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. And I hope you all have been well since our last video. Today I have a few UFO sightings to share with you guys. But first, I have a little bit of artwork that people sent in. That's right, we got some Area 503 fan art sent in by Rick over at The Unknown.
Alright, my intro didn't work because I didn't realize that the intro that I was playing had to be removed. I was going to do something. So I'm going to do it right now and you're going to like it. Hold on. Just pretend the intro ended.
Hi, Kermit the Frog here. You are watching The Unknown. We are not on Sesame Street anymore, Gonzo. Places, please, everybody. All right, 3, 2, 1, action!
Rick is doing some great work on his channel over there, and he's got quite a sense of humor, so head on over and check his stuff out when you get a chance. But for now, let's take a look at the art that he sent in. Nice, dude. Oh, I really like that one. Next, I asked the Area 503 computer to come up with some self-portraits. This is what I got. And finally, it turns out that Disclosure Tonight was not only a big hit amongst humans, but also amongst cats. And it seems like Xynthia Salithlith was the feline favorite. Well, I guess it's always good to know that your art is appreciated by multiple species. Now, let's go ahead and move along to these UFO sightings. So, this all began back in May when a buddy of mine by the name of Game Vet sent in some footage that he had shot and asked me to take a look at it. You know, that's pretty interesting, but my initial reaction is that we're looking at a Starlink deployment here. But the thing is, people were seeing this UFO all over the world, and Game Vet had asked me to look into this sighting, and some of the others. And so, here we are. Let's take a look at all of these sightings together and see if we can't help identify them. So first we've got Game Vet's sighting. Computer, thank you for the amazing self-portraits earlier.
Thank you, Manny. I did have to take some liberty with the face, since I don't have one, but I think I've captured the likeness.
Now, can you please check and see if there were any Starlink sightings in the days previous to Game Vet's sighting?
Starlink 26 launched May 15th, and Starlink 25 launched April 29th, both from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral.
Thank you, computer. So we have Starlink 26 launched on May 15th. So we definitely have to consider that this could be Starlink in this sighting. But before we go passing too much judgment, let's go ahead and look at the rest of the footage. Let's move along to Manitoba, Canada, where a similar sighting occurred on May 9th.
Take one, two. A little better. Oh, look at that, Gord, look. It's a fucking line. Shh. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Hey, wait a minute. Starlink 26 deployed almost a week after this sighting, so it couldn't have been that. But it looks like Starlink 25 deployed on April 29th, so it may have been that one. This is getting interesting and confusing. Boy, this footage shot in Manitoba, Canada looks awfully similar to GameVet's footage. This might even be the same UFO, but we really cannot confirm that here. All that we can say is that it looks similar, so let's go ahead and move along to the next sighting, which took place over Laredo, Texas on May 12th, where this strange red orb UFO was filmed. Hey, that's no Starlink, and it doesn't look anything like GameVet's UFO. That actually looks like a drone with a red LED attached to it. Maybe that's what it is. Anyhow, let's go ahead and file this one away and we'll move along. Let's go back to Canada, this time to Ontario on May 15th. Okay, this definitely looks identical to what GameVet witnessed, but this time it was filmed up in Canada. Okay, so we still can't rule out Starlink here, but this is starting to get me very interested. But you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and wait till I see all the rest of the footage before I do too much speculating. So let's look at the next piece, which was filmed the same night on May 15th, but this time over Bellingham, Washington.
What is that?
What is that thing? Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out here. Whatever it is, people are spotting it all over the world. And it's amazing, really. I think if I looked up and saw that flying through the night sky, I would pull my phone out of my pocket and start recording it too.
Holy moly! There's a whole string of lights.
Shh! Quiet! Let me see the binoculars.
Oh my
Here.
God.
You hold this.
It's one whole straight line of lights. Where is it?
I can't see where I am. Oh, it's by the tree.
Where'd it go? I can't see it anymore.
Let's head on over to Minnesota, where the next two sightings took place on the following night, May 16th. First was another sighting of this UFO, and I don't know about you folks, but that looks identical to the other ones that GameVet filmed and was spotted above Canada. So we have several confirmed sightings of what appears to be the same UFO. Let's go ahead and look at the other sighting over Minnesota that same day on May 16th. Whoa, what do we have here? That certainly doesn't look like GameVet sightings or the other ones, but that is interesting. Let's go ahead and stash this one away for now, and we'll come back to it later. Next, we're going to head on over to the Netherlands, where this same UFO was spotted 2 nights in a row. First on May 18th, where this footage was filmed. Check this out. Now this one looks quite a bit different because this certainly looks like a group of Starlink satellites being deployed into their spots on the Starlink constellation. And the footage on the next day, May 19th, definitely looks like Starlink satellites as well. But are these actually the same UFOs that were filmed in the previous footage all around the world? Or are they part of a previous launch of Starlink satellites, perhaps? There's just one more piece of footage that I want to show you folks, and then we're going to go ahead and recap. This one was shot over Helena, Montana on May 26th. Take a peek at this.
What the hell is that? That is crazy. It's got moving lights on it.
I got it on video.
It's like really long.
There's lights behind it. There's lights in front of it.
Oh my gosh. I'm videoing it right now. Do you see how the lights are chasing each other? I'm out here in the in Helena, Gates of the Mountains. Wilderness area. That is nuts. Dude, what is that? Yeah, I'm videoing too. There's also lights chasing either side of it. You see that? They're strobes. I can't hear anything over the creek. Do I need to upload this to the internet? Do we need to upload this to the internet? Yeah. It looks almost like lights on a blimp or something, doesn't it? What would we have that would fly like that with lights like that? Here we are camping. This is my truck. That is crazy. Wow.
Wow, so that looks exactly like the footage the game vet shot. What is this thing? The witness said that it looked like it had strobes on either side of the UFO. Is that because it was some kind of UFO with an escort, like helicopters? Or is it because that they were Starlink satellites and some of them were being deployed in the front and back to maneuver into position? Let's quickly recap the sightings. First, we have Manitoba, Canada. Then Ontario, Canada. Then Game Vet sighting. Bellingham, Washington. Minnesota. The Netherlands. And finally, Helena, Montana. Wow, look at all that. But can these all truly be the same thing? Well, I think yes. And no. You know, I think I'm going to go with my gut instinct here and say that I believe that these are all Starlink satellites, and let me tell you why. I believe that these objects are in a high orbit and not flying at a standard altitude of about, say, 40,000 feet where commercial airliners travel. Why do I feel that way? Because if this were a single UFO that were orbiting the Earth at cruising altitudes for a few days, I think that it would be detected on all sorts of ground-based radar all over the world, and that military planes would most certainly be sent to investigate. At least, I hope that they would be, right? Anyhow, I'm sure that you guys are wondering, if these are all Starlink satellites, how come the ones in the Netherlands look so different? Well, I suspect that the ones filmed in the Netherlands were actually from a previous Starlink launch, either 25, 24, or 23. You see, I learned a few things while researching this sighting. One of the things that I learned is that Starlink satellites can take up to 4 months to maneuver into their final orbital positions. That's right, up to 4 whole months until they maneuver into their final positions in the constellation. So I truly think that the ones filmed over the Netherlands were from one of the previous Starlink launches. But who really knows? But when you take into account the fact that these things take about 4 months to move into their final positions, I think it's safe to say that you're going to see them at various times during that phase when they catch the light and do what's called a satellite flare, which is when you catch the light from the sun and it flares off of the satellite so you catch a glimpse of it for a few minutes or a few seconds. In any case, it's my opinion that that's what we're seeing here is Starlink satellites. But that's most certainly not a fact. I'll tell you what is a fact though. The Starlink communications network has been a thorn in the side for amateur astronomers and for ufologists ever since SpaceX first began sending up the pesky little buggers. But fortunately for us all, the launch and setup process is nearing its end, so hopefully, once these things are all in place, we won't even notice them, and they won't be a bother to us anymore. But until then, expect people to keep seeing these things all over the world. I just want to show you guys one more resource that I stumbled across while I was digging into this sighting. You can find a link to the webpage in the description below, and it's a resource to help you track all of the Starlink satellites in real time. So if you folks are curious about Starlink, head on over and check it out for yourself. Then when you do, come back here and let me know what you think. For now, let's go ahead and move back to that odd sighting that occurred over Minnesota. Check this out. Whoa, that's interesting. What do you make of that? A circle of lights, like maybe it's a bunch of drones with LEDs? Oh look, it looks like there's a helicopter flying off on the side, or maybe an aircraft. Is it maybe a bunch of skydivers with LEDs or flares that are falling in formation? Wow, check that out. It seems to have changed shape from a circular formation to an S-shape formation. And again, we see some kind of aircraft fly by in the background. I really am leaning towards skydivers with some kind of light source on them, but it's impossible to say for sure. And I suppose it could be some kind of atmospheric condition, although it doesn't look like one that I can identify. What about all of you? Can any of you identify this sighting? What do you all think about the sightings that I've shown you here in this video? Check out the links in the description down below for more information. Then head on down to the comments section and let me know what you think. And if you haven't gotten a chance, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That button is right down there on your way. I can't wait to hear your opinions on these sightings. And now I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to Game Vet for bringing this sighting to my attention and for his help researching them. I'm always looking for opportunities to learn something new, and I learned quite a few things during the process of making this video. So thank you, buddy. And thank you to all of you guys as well for being so supportive of my work, the channel, and for joining me on my search for universal truth. I sincerely thank each and every one of you. Well guys, for now that's all that I've got to share with you. So I'm gonna head on out and start work on my next video. I'll catch y'all later. As always, this has been Manny at Area 503. And I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.
Starlink 26 launched May 15th, and Starlink 25 launched April 29th, both from Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral.
I'll get it on the second time. Just let me.